Good evening. This is a presentation for EDN 544, looking at a discrepant event in which a misconception could arise in regards to density. This lesson could be an extension of a mass and volume lesson in which a component of matter is examined. Furthermore, the main idea associated with this lesson or activity is to develop the relationship with density and liquids. The most appropriate grade level for such an experiment such as this would be probably about 4th grade. The materials that would be necessary to complete this experiment would be a clear cup, Sprite, and fresh grapes. To carry out this procedure, I would encourage my students to participate as far as actually executing each aspect of the procedure and just make some predictions of what is going to happen after we view the procedure and discuss it. And this is essential in teaching process skills. One of the main process skills that is going to be utilized in this activity is going to be observation, because we need to observe how these grapes are going to react in the liquid. So the first step in the procedure, which I would have my students to actually carry this out, simply because this is a procedure in which a lot of safety precautions aren't necessary, and it's a pretty easy and hands-on activity. So the first step would be to pour and fill the glass with the Sprite. And while pouring the Sprite into the cup, since this is an extension of matter, I would have my students to identify what the Sprite is in this experiment, the fizzing that comes about whenever it's transferred from the bottle into the cup, as well as the property of the cup, which all three states of matter can be identified in this experiment. The next part would be to utilize our grapes. Students would peel the grapes, and again reinforcing the state of matter, with this being both being solids. My peeled grape is in my left hand, while the unpeeled is in my right. And it's important to select those that are about the same in size. And then I would pose the question to the students as to which grape is going to be heavier. And naturally, a misconception that may arise here is that the unpeeled grape is going to be lighter than the peeled grape is going to be lighter than the unpeeled grape, simply because the skin of this particular grape has been removed. So I would encourage students to make that prediction before we carry out the activity. The next step would be to place both the unpeeled and peeled grape into our Sprite, and then thereafter students will observe. Through observation, we can take a look and notice that our peeled grape is at the bottom of our cup, whereas the unpeeled grape is near the surface. After conducting this, I would pose questions to my students to see if their predictions were correct, and what is the reasoning behind this grape that has been peeled remaining at the bottom of this cup, and the unpeeled grape being at the surface. We would take a couple minutes to continue to observe this and see if any changes are present during this time. But as you can see, the grape that has been peeled is going to remain at the bottom of the cup, and that one that remains unpeeled is going to remain near the surface. Further questioning, which is essential for inquiry-based learning, could be, what are some of the causes that the peeled grape sank to the bottom of the solution or the liquid? Which grape appears to be lighter in weight, which correlates with mass, which is a huge aspect in matter? What makes the unpeeled grape float? And would an unpeeled grape also float in water? And that could be an activity in which we can extend their learning and reiterating this activity with another cup and a clear cup and filling it with just regular tap water. So after allowing students to answer questions and just discuss and do some turn and talks with their neighbors, we would actually go in depth and look at the reasoning behind this happening. And in this activity, again, we noticed that the unpeeled grape is near the bottom, that the peeled grape is near the bottom, and the unpeeled grape is near the top. And this is a lesson in which adhesion and cohesion is present. The unpeeled grape, which is here at the top, does have the water repellent in which the carbon dioxide is not going through and weighing it down as the peeled grape does. And that is the end of this presentation. Thank you.